Hello, everyone. Welcome to Michael's vlog. Today I'm going to talk about, you know, why you should know your worth in business specifically. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because, when I look back on some of the experiences that I had, I realized something important when it comes to knowing your worth. And when I say knowing your worth, I mean knowing how much you should get paid for a particular project. And so let's talk a little bit about that. Let's say, for example, you're a freelancer or you got a business that you're running and you're trying to make money doing different services or selling a product, that type of thing. Let's say you get in a negotiation, for your service and you're on the phone with a client and they saying, well, we can only afford to pay you this, this, and that. And you say, well, look, I work for company X, Y, and Z and they paid me this much. And then they say to you, well, I understand that, but we're not company X, Y, and Z. We can only pay you this. And so you get in that conversation and you don't know your worth, then you could end up agreeing to anything. You can be like, well, you know, you start thinking, well, yeah, they're not a big enough company. They can't afford my services. But they knew the quality of work that you do. And let's say that they knew what you normally charge when they talk with you. Okay. Because you made sure all that information was available. But they get in the conversation and say we can't afford to do it. So what do you do in that situation? Do you bend to their will and say, you know what, okay, they don't have the money to do it, so I'm gonna have to bend to their will and lower my rates? Well, if you got 100 other companies that can pay you, the same as company X, Y, and Z, why would you lower your cost while keeping the same quality and standard? So if you're a professional and you offer a certain level of quality of service, you need to know your worth and know the price range or flexibility that you have with your rate. And it's so at the end of the day, what I learned is this: you're not going to be able to close every client. You're not going to be able to close every company because every company doesn't have the budget, to necessarily work with you, and that's fine. So you got to realize that certain companies you're going to have to just cut and say, look, I cannot work with you because you don't have the budget to afford me, and then keep moving it on. It's better to do that than to waste your time there and stress yourself out with low pay, when you know that you can have other clients that's going to pay you what your worth is. But if you go in without knowing your worth, then you can get, any kind of horrible deal and you might end up accepting it because you feel bad for them, or you're not thinking about, well, I'm providing this level of quality of service. And with me knowing that, I've had a company that reached out to me that was willing to pay a decent amount of pay. And I'm sorry for the noise because business stuff is still happening in the background. If you heard that beep sound, when I got different people, going in and chatting and all that, and contracts and all that stuff happening in the background. So I apologize for that noise. But just make sure you know and you got a strategy and know what your range is. Know what number you're not going to go below, that's sustainable for you, that's going to give you more than enough than you need, but at the same time give you flexibility to work with different types of clients at different levels. So never lower your rate so much that you don't have no room to breathe. You know what I'm saying? Only accept a super low rate when you just ain't got nothing happening. Like you need the deal, then of course you take whatever you can get if you got nothing going on. But if you got things going on, then don't accept no deal that is not beneficial for you, because at the end of the day you trying to build your career or your business if you got your own business that you're running. So you got to do what's best for you or what's best for your company too. Not to say that you don't do good things for the companies that you're working with. Yes, if you got room to negotiate. I've done that. I've negotiated with some companies. However, they understand that I offer a certain level of quality of service, and there's a certain level I'm not going to go below. And especially when I'm working a lot of different contracts, I'm very unlikely to offer any kind of discount. A lot of times I'd let them know, I'm like, look, I got all these other contracts going on. If I did this for you, it's only because of a favor, but other than that, if I don't feel like I'm in the mood to do that and I got all these contracts going on, I'm not going to give any kind of discount, because you got to set a standard. You got to say, this is my rate and I'm not charging anything lesser than that, because there's about 100 other people out here who will pay for it. Now, if you want ultra cheap service, it's options out there, but you're not going to get the same quality of service usually. So, you got to set that tone and prepare yourself for business so that you can be successful, because you can't become successful working on, you know, super ultra low pay. It's just, and you're not going to be able to invest and improve your business. So these companies got to understand that when you paying super low pay and they barely got room to breathe, how's that company going to invest in improvement? You can't have continuous improvement on a shoestring budget, because you're not going to have enough money to reinvest in education stuff, you know, and learning and technology that's going to help improve your business. All these things are going to help improve your business. So at the end of the day, you got to think about the big picture. So this information isn't just for the entrepreneur, the business person, but this is for those companies that think that, hey, I can come in and negotiate kind of any kind of ridiculously low rate. Well, you're hurting yourself and you're hurting the company by asking that, because that company, if they can't invest and improve their services, you've got a service that's going to degrade over time. It has to, because you can't expect them to do something when the pay is too low. But I'm not going to make a super long rant about this, because it's not like, you know, this happens every day type of situation for me, but I've seen it happen here and there. And then when it does happen, it's kind of annoying, because it's like, well, you know, I didn't even, you know, go into this particular contract with this expectations that this would happen, you know, but when it does happen, you kind of got to let them know, look, you know, if you, and I've let clients go before, this won't be the first time I've done this, but, you know, I've let clients go before that, you know, they was like, well, we can't afford it. And I was like, okay, no hard feelings on my end. I mean, like I said, I got other stuff going on anyway. So for me, it's like, you go handle your business, you go find the right fit, but always make it clear up front what I charge. And, you know, sometimes, you know, like I said, once in a while you'll get a client that's like, hey, I can't afford that. Well, you know, why did you even talk with me is my question. Number one, why did you even speak with me if you couldn't afford it? And you, because I'm upfront with my rates. I don't, you know, hide that information. It's not tucked away in some book of secrets or something. It's right out in the forefront. So it's not like it's a secret. But I would say probably in the 4 or 5 years that I've done business, you know, like consistently doing business. It's not that I haven't done business before that, but when I say consistent, I mean like I'm just doing a lot of different things, you know, with business all on a regular basis. I'd probably say once or twice within that time frame. You know, once or twice I've had that happen with clients, but it's very, very rare. But if you're not careful, you know, because I made adjustments to make sure it wouldn't happen more than those 1 or 2 times. You got to make adjustments and set a boundary and say, I'm not going below this rate. And I'm just going to put it out in the front from the very start so that they understand what my rates are. That way we don't even have to have a conversation if you can't afford me. As soon as you see the rate, if you know you can't afford it, no need to talk. You know, now I have a high level of efficiency and they want to talk about that and say, well, why do you charge this much? You know, it's not just about the quality, but it's also about the efficiency of the service as well. So somebody might pay, you know, I can't tell you my rates because I don't want you guys knowing all my information like that unless you're actually a client. But somebody might come to me and say, man, you charge a whole lot. But then when I start breaking the numbers down, I'm like, well, I can do X, Y, and Z in this amount of time. Then they're like, oh, okay, I get it now. Your efficiency is really good and your quality is exceptional. And then they pay for the service. I have a client that, you know, they ask me, well, how many hours is it going to take you to do this? And I say, oh, I can do this in this amount of time. They paying me a lot more than they paying any other client, because I look at the records. They're paying me more than they paying a lot of other clients. But the level of quality that I offer and the service that I offer and the efficiency, they're willing to pay those rates. You know, because I look at the numbers. I'm a numbers guy. And if I look at the numbers and they say that I can do it efficiently enough to charge this rate, I'm going to charge it. So don't let nobody, you know, make you feel like your service is worth less than what it is. You know, I know how it feels to feel that when you first start out. You know, like when I first had started out, which I've been doing this a while now, but when I first started out, I was worried that maybe it's my fault. Maybe I'm charging too much. But then I started evaluating what other people are charging. I was like, well, some people are charging more. Why is that? And I came to the conclusion it's because they understand their worth and they know what they have to offer in terms of value for the dollar that they're getting paid. And so they're able to charge that. There's people charging more than me. You know, some people say I'm too cheap. My cost is too low. So everybody's going to have their opinion. Some will say it's too low and some will say it's too high. Those who really are just kind people will just be upfront and be like, man, your rates are too low. I've had people tell me that, but other people be like, your rates are too high. but that's subjective. That's their opinion. And if that's their opinion, that's fine. But you got to connect with those who are in agreement with what you had to offer. That's how the marketplace works. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this video because we almost at 10 minutes. But I just wanted to share that wisdom with you. Know your worth, and don't let nobody take advantage of you. And if they do try to take advantage of you cut them off right away if you don't need that contract. Now, if you need it and you just getting started and you got to get paid like, $10 for 10 hours of work just to get your name out there, then you do what you got to do. But once you get past that, development phase, you make sure you set your standard and you put your foot down. And I've had conversations with people on the phone who was worried about like how much I had like an hour, 2 hour long conversation with a client of mine that had a business too, where they charging other people. And I told them, I said, look, don't let nobody take advantage of you. I've seen your work. It's good. Don't let them disrespect your rate. You set it, you let them know what it is. And if they can't do it, then you move on, because you're wasting time and energy and giving yourself stress for something that you don't need to get yourself stressed for. You got a business. And one of the big questions I ask them is, when you go to Best Buy, can you go up in there and be like, man, them electronics is too much. I can't afford that laptop. That laptop is $1,500. That you can't go up in there and say I can give you $1,000 for it. They're gonna kick you out the store. Be like, man, you better go get you a used laptop. That's our price. If you can't afford it, then you need to work harder to earn more so you can afford it. That's how the world works. And that's how you got to put your business together. If you like it, stay here. If you don't like it, go. That's how the world works. It's that simple. You can't be going up in the McDonald's saying, I can't afford that sandwich, man. It's $2 or $3. Can I buy it for $1.50? They going to kick you out the McDonald's. So you learn from that experience that a rate is a rate. It's not negotiable. Now, it may be negotiable to a certain extent, because depending on the type of service you offer, it may be negotiable some. But again, there's still limitations. You can't be going to for example, a car dealership, and the car costs $30,000, and then you say I want to buy it for $25,000, brand new car. You're probably not gonna get the car for $25,000. Now you probably can negotiate it down some, but a brand new car, you're probably not gonna get $5,000 off of it. That's gonna be kind of hard, I think, in my opinion. But I could be wrong. You may be able to negotiate the $5,000 off it. I don't know, but you're definitely not going to negotiate $10,000 off of it. I can tell you that much. You're not going to buy a $30,000 brand new car for $20,000 and say, "Well, I can't afford the $30,000, but I got $20,000. Can I have a car?" They're gonna look at you and laugh and kick you out that car dealership because you're wasting their time. And that's how it feels when someone comes to you, and it gets frustrating when even though it's very rare that it happens with my business. It makes me want to talk about it and rant about it so other people can just be like, look, I understand. I watched Michael's vlog, and Michael vlog was like, man, don't even put up with that mess. Just don't do it. Handle your business and get on to the next big thing, because that's slowing you down and taking you on a path of destruction for your business. Because I was going down that path at one point. I was being flexible, negotiating, trying to make everybody happy. But making everybody happy isn't the best thing for your business. It will collapse your business. And you don't want to do that. So I made adjustments. And I have a zero tolerance policy for companies that want me to give them the world, but isn't giving me the world back. Meaning they're not giving me something equivalent for what they're asking me for. Now, if they're going to bring me 10 new clients at my new rate, I'm sorry, not at my new rate, but whatever my current rate is at the given time, then okay, we might be able to talk. If you could bring me 10 clients at my standard rate, but you ain't offering much, we might be able to talk because you can offset the cost. But there has to be a balance in the equation. It can't be, on your side of the equation, you got all the weight and the benefits, and on my side is lightweight. It's about to float off the planet because there ain't no, it's so light floating in the air. It's just going with the wind any kind of way. It don't have no structure. It's just being carried along the way with the wind. But on your side, you got stability and structure and a foundation that's holding it down to the ground. You can't do a business like that. And I can't tell you how many people I've seen like try to, always compromise. It's okay to compromise a little bit, but you gotta have balance. So I know there's a lot of people out there, entrepreneurs, who's trying to start up new businesses. You got to set the foundation, and you got to know your worth, and you got to be able to express that value in the conversation and say, look, I've done this for XYZ company, and look at the results I got from them. They paid me. What's the difference between them and you? I know you're not a big company, but they saw the value in my service, and I expect all the other companies to see that as well. And so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up because I done went way past what I said I would do. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, that it gave you some business insight, and that you're better prepared of how to handle yourself when it comes to business, and making sure you get a good side of the end of the deal as well, and not just the client. Until then, stay tuned for future videos. Embed, comment, share, and subscribe. And comment in the comment section. If you like this video, you gotta leave a thumb up, up on the video, so I can know, get that YouTube algorithm happy about these videos. Because if you like these business videos, I could do these all day long. It's easy work for me. I'm not gonna promise you I'm gonna set up a LED light in my face like I did in some of the videos and make it look all fancy. I don't care about all that. I'll just get you a simple video with me talking and dropping some wisdom. But for real, you got to make sure you know your information. Let me know if you like the video, and I'll drop a billion of these business videos. I could talk business all day long because I got experience with it. So with that being said, talk to you guys soon, and stay tuned for future videos on Michael's Vlog.